everybody, I'm back. This time we're talking about logos, specifically about oversimplified ones. As you've probably seen, many companies are oversimplifying their logos. Most people, including me, don't like most of the new logos. First, let's take this logo for example. Many people hate this logo so much. It's one of the ones that first come to mind. The infamous Pringles logo. Show the picture. Look at this. He is just completely dead. He has no soul left. Okay, let's talk about the problems here. First of all, they removed the outline of the new Pringles guy. Then, they go too far and remove his hair and eye shines. This is what makes him look like he has no soul. Many people are upset about this change, including me. This is where we rate it. Kind of like we did in nature, but not quite. It's 9 out of 10, or even 72.5. It's out of 94.25. And this, I rate 14 out of 94.25. At least they didn't fully remove him. That would have been even worse. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Next up, the Petco logo. What happened here? Where did they go? They literally killed the dog and the cat. Who decided on that? Now it's just plain old text that any logo could have. This is going way too far. Their slogan, Petco, where the pets go. Instead, it should be, Petco, where did the pets go? I rate this piece of garbage 2 out of 94.25. Okay, let me calm down during this commercial break.
Tender roast beef. And if you really want a quarter pound of beef, that's cool. Just eat half of one of these.
Abby's, we are out of stock of the meats. Alright, I'm back. In this part, I'll be talking about two logos. The Airbnb logo and the Wendy's logo. First, let's talk about the Airbnb logo. Before, it was a standing out original logo. And now, just like Petco, it's just plain text. This is where they're heading. No difference, no personality. They're all gonna end up the same. Just text. I would rate this a 5 out of 94.25. Next, the Wendy's logo. I personally like this change. The old was just a bit too detailed. Now, the new one has fixed that, and it's more recognizable. You can remember it better. So I rate this logo a 63 out of 94.25. That was my last logo for this part. Alright, that's done. Well, now I will continue by talking about the new Google logos. I like how Google itself changed their logo, because it looks a little better. But now the Google Apps logo changes. Why was there a need to change? It was fine the way it was. I mean, sure, the new Maps, Photos, Gmail, and Drive logos look more modern and flashy, but the old ones were iconic. But no! Rainbow. These logos just look, well, bad. I would rate these 12 out of 94.25. Just why? Next, we're doing Gap. The current logo isn't that great. It's okay, but just okay. But back in 2010, they changed their logo to this. I like it. They did it because of the declining sales and hope of blah blah blah. But it's a good logo. But why do they change it back to the old one they have now? Well, Jonathan, that's because the internet had a temper tantrum about it. Next, I want to talk about the Twitter logo. By the way, follow me at Bean652YT. It's in the description. I like this change. The old Twitter bird had a weird shape. Then it had too much detail, but the new Twitter logo doesn't have that much detail and it's still great and knowable. Part of me liking this is the logo that has been the same for the longest time, and it's grown on me. So that's why I like this logo. I would rate this an 89 out of 94 and a quarter. I like it. On the topic of social media, let's talk about Instagram. I'd say many people hate this change. But I feel the old one was way too detailed. Way too detailed. And the same as Twitter, the logo has grown on me. The new one is just so recognizable. I rate this 75 out of 94 and a quarter. Next, YouTube. I have mixed feelings about this one. Oven, show the picture. I would say I like the 2015 and 2017 logo. I think the 2015 one looks better, but the 2017 logo has grown on me, like Twitter and Instagram. I know many people hate this new logo, and I'm not entirely sure which side to pick. So with that ending, let's talk about the Sherwin-Williams logo. This isn't an oversimplified one, I just hate it. It's too detailed. You can't remember this. Like, what is this? It's terrible. I actually made my own SW logo. Here. Also, it's very sinister. Sherwin-Williams wanted to cover the world with what appears to be blood. Yikes. Coca Cola is an example of good logo changes. Just actual good, positive changes. What we want. 60 out of 94 and a quarter. Not just Helvetica fonts. Next, Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, it's not Helvetica, but it's still bad. There was no reason to change. If anything, just remove all the text and make it just the drink, but no. Now it just says Dunkin'. 10 out of 94 and a half. Next, Warner Bros. No. Why? What did you do? A poll said 89% of people prefer the old one. And why did you ditch the bronze color? It looked pretty cool. And you made the logo skinnier, because why not? 20 out of 94 and a half. At least it resembles the old one. Next, Amazon. Remember when the logo looked like Hitler? Yeah, that happened. A, the change to the box logo wasn't necessary, and B, why did you make it look like Hitler? None of this was necessary. Just why? Why? People do anything to get offended these days. Who came up with that? Come on, why do you care? This barely even resembles Hitler. Have you ever heard of coincidences? Apparently not. Well, I rate this change 67 out of 94 and a quarter. I barely care. Anywho, Animal Planet. Many people have talked about this logo. What did they do? Okay, remember Petco and Airbnb? Simple text. But what about Animal Planet? Simple text. Everything is turning into simple text. This is outrageous. What happened to the life? To the funny text? No! Simple text. Sure, there's an elephant. Gee, that helps though. Simple text. Why is it just simple text? I rate this simple text out of simple text. I rate this 6 out of 94 and a quarter. Well, that's all, folks. See you next time.